Bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about
comic books, costumes,
facts, boots,
and other stuff.
In this week's issue, Spot Pete, Peter Petruski, the Trapster.
Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I'm your host, Zach, joined by the thing to my Human Torch.
Oh, man.
Mr. Mike.
I can't get these rocks off.
Well, that sounds like a...
Oh, sorry.
That's not a problem for me to deal with. I feel like...
I got you.
I mean, if you're coming to me to help at that point, I feel like there's other people you've asked before that, hopefully, that would help. But you never know.
Mr. Fantastic, get over here.
A Fantastic Four reference in our dynamic duo today.
Yeah.
And that is because they are some of the heroes that'll appear in our story today. I know I told you last week that we hadn't had a weird, crazy villain in a while.
Sure, yeah.
So that's what I went out and found, was a weird, crazy villain.
Very nice.
You know how... Well, first of all, I'll just say that this person, before I get into it, was...
So it's a person.
It is a person.
Okay.
Was created...
Not like Starro or something like that, yeah.
The character's first appearance was in Strange Tales 104. Remember how they used to...
Yeah, that's way
I think
back.
that's how even Spider-Man came in, was in one of the Strange Tales.
Yeah. That was almost like a proving ground kind of thing.
Yeah, in a way. It's from January of 1963, and he was created by Stan Lee, Larry Lieber, and Jack Kirby. So you want to talk about an all-star team.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Of people that we're dealing with here. But this is going to show you that even the greats have moments where they fall a little short.
Well, I think we kind of discussed that with Frank Miller and all
for
that,
sure.
You know?
For sure. This isn't to a Frank Miller level.
Sure. It's not a banana Batman.
No, it's not.
Sure.
It's not, he's not slapping kids and I'm the GD Batman all the time. No, it's nothing.
GD Batman.
It's nothing like that. But, you know how, and I'm going to take a strange approach to this too.
Okay.
And I'll explain why, because this is a character that is still used now. Like, he was created in 1963.
Yeah.
But then halfway through his run, he has a change name-wise.
Oh, wow.
And he's a different character, just name-wise now. Like, the history's still there.
Okay.
But he goes by a different name.
Okay.
And there's a reason why. But we're dealing with his first
iteration.
foray into crime.
Sure. Okay.
Let me introduce you to our villain.
I always like this part.
His name...
It's like waiting for your appetizer.
Exactly.
To come out.
His name is Peter Petruski.
Okay.
Okay.
That's kind of underwhelming, but all right.
Peter Petruski is from Gary, Indiana. I do know that. So I think there's a song from, isn't there, like
Gary,
Music
Indiana,
Man?
Gary, Indiana. Yep.
Is that Music Man?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So there's, if you want to sing that song there because of it.
We got trouble that starts with T, that rhymes with P, and stands for pool.
But he's a scientist. Don't worry, no tenure here. Not a college professor.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I need to make that clear.
I don't believe you, but all right, sure.
He is a scientist who creates like this super awesome glue.
Okay.
Okay. Right?
These things are so stupid.
I know.
I created glue. I am a villain.
But it was like, well, no, it was like,
oh, okay.
And so he's
still a scientist.
Started getting, he started getting paid for it.
Like, university scientist.
It's kind of like, it's neither, I guess, it wasn't as good as super glue or crazy glue or gorilla glue or any of your famous glues.
It was pretty good glue.
But it was good enough for him to make a living off of patenting and selling his.
Okay. All right.
His paste.
His paste. Highly edible paste.
Because this was back in the 60s where it wasn't always called glue. It was called paste.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess we should just bring up the lexicon.
Right.
And the
mostly made of horses.
Yes.
Yes.
Usually.
How did they find that out, by the way?
I don't know.
When we smush these horses, they get real sticky. Is that how that works?
See, and that's like, obviously, I grew up in a time where I don't think I ever used anything that had horse glue in it.
Yeah.
But like even.
But you still heard the rumors and stuff.
For
like,
sure. And I never understood that. Plus, and I love all animals. So obviously the thought of any animal dying for any product is ridiculous.
Right.
But is it like one whole horse for one little tube of glue?
I think I don't mean to burst your bubble, but I think it's two. I think it's 2 horses per bottle.
It only is a half bottle per horse.
Well, just think about all of the skin and the tissue and stuff, and then when they squeeze these horses down, you know, I mean, it's very concentrated.
Would it be easier if we like caught beavers and did the same process? Like, granted, it might take more beavers.
You
but
understand? I have no idea
how many
horses are in it.
I have no. I know you don't. That's why I'm just still going with it and wondering if we changed animals, if it still is adhesive and.
I think it makes more sense to me that it would be a beaver. I mean, they build dams, they make stuff stick together.
I don't know why they thought no horses.
Horses to me don't seem real crafty. You know, like they don't you know, they're not gluing.
That was a punny answer there.
Well, they're not gluing macaroni onto boards and stuff.
No. But so, bros, foes, and heroes.
If they did, though,
come for the comics, stay for the animal glue discussion.
Sure.
So Peter Petruski invents this glue, this
Peter
paste.
Petruski.
And he decides, I just love that he's like, you know, I could, and I paraphrase some, but I could make money off selling this paste, or I could turn to a life of crime, and that would be way more lucrative.
Well, maybe, does it say anything about him eating some of the paste or anything like that?
No,
maybe that's what made him go nuts?
Not that I know of.
Okay. So what's the seminal event that causes him to become bad?
That's it. He's like, you know, I think I can make more money being a villain than actually being a scientist.
Screw it. I'll rob a bank.
That's exactly what he does. So he goes and
Boy,
he
you know, I picked that out of nowhere, but that does make sense because a lot of them robbed banks back then.
He goes.
That was like
everybody was like.
It didn't hurt anybody necessarily, but that was like the big crime. I'm gonna rob a bank and get on my tenure.
Peter shows up to the Glenville Bank.
Okay.
I'll tell you this, since we're focusing on the villain, we won't spend as much time on the hero in this, but even it's a Stranger Tales story. It is Fantastic Four related in a way because the main foil that he's always fighting against for the most part in everyone, it seems to be Human Torch.
That makes sense because fire melts glue maybe.
But it's apparently heat resistant.
Get Johnny Storm in here.
Freeze resistant, and like it just takes special solvents that he has to be able to.
Okay. All right.
But
it takes special solvents that Johnny Storm has access to.
No, he doesn't. No, I'm saying like that Pete has.
I see. Okay.
I guess I should quit calling him Peter Petruski at this point.
Petruski.
And call him by his villain name.
Oh no. Sticky Man.
How about Paste Pot Pete?
Paste Pot Pete? Come on.
Paste Pot Pete.
Paste Pot Pete? And why do you need the pot in the middle? Why is it not just Paste Pete?
Because he has to carry the pot of paste with him.
Come on, he's carrying around a bucket of glue.
For his paste gun.
How hard is that to defeat? You just kick the bucket.
Well, no, you can't. He robs the Glenville Bank. Like, people who get in his way, he glues them to the wall.
Come on.
He glues them to the wall. He glues them in their feet as they're trying to run after him, and they get stopped.
He goes, "Hey, be still. Be still for a minute. It's still drying."
The cops pull up, and he squirts like around the doors of the cars.
They can't get out.
The car doors shut.
Oh, wow.
And so he's successful robbing the Glenville Bank.
He's such an ugly cuss, too. Look at him.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too, is they gave him a purple beret in his first iteration, and
it's
it looks like
a beret.
A nightcap.
Yeah.
Like a good old sleeping cap.
It looks like a nightcap. He's in a onesie with very big ruffles down at the bottom.
Look at that jaw, too.
Yeah, that's a big jaw,
He has
man.
like a Dudley Do-Right jaw.
Well, not only that, but he accentuates it with a little beard.
Yeah,
it's nice and pointy.
Just a couple whiskers at the end.
Yeah, he's so mad.
So Paste Pot Pete Stills is successful. Johnny Storm can't get him. He gets away from him.
Uh-oh.
So what is the next logical step? If you can't, if you go from stealing banks, robbing banks, robbing banks.
I got another bank.
I'm going to steal this bank. If anybody asks, you didn't see me near the bank. But he shifts his attention to weapons.
Oh, okay.
Because that's a logical.
Well, I mean, military applications, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, I've robbed one bank. I'm going to turn into a warlord now.
Yeah. Well,
it just seems like a strange step.
That probably happens more than you.
But again, it was the 60s.
Okay, sure.
He goes to.
I'm tired of this free love.
Yeah, he goes to basically his plan is like the government's testing it and he shoots paste at it and like redirects it to where he wants to go and is able to steal it.
Wait, the government shoots what?
I'm sorry. I talked about a weapon, like a warhead.
Okay.
They're testing out a new warhead.
And he just shoots glue at it.
Yeah, and he's able to like pull it back. Like, you know how Spider-Man uses his web?
Yeah.
He shoots the paste at it.
This Triple P, he's got a little gun coming off of his bucket. Right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you got the paste in there.
Yeah, look at him go.
He's an ugly guy.
He just needs somebody, because there's got to be a better moniker, right, than Paste Pot Pete.
Yeah, because the thing is
number one, it's making my mic go nuts.
He doesn't even really like the name. Like later on, like people bring it up and he's upset about it.
I think Glue Boy is better.
Glue Boy, that's a man.
Glue Man. Okay.
Glue Man doesn't sound
the Sticky-atator.
I was going to call him like Sticky Steve.
Sticky Steve's not bad.
But that sounds like Steve might. We don't know why Steve's sticky, though.
Yeah, that's true.
At least with Paste Pot Pete, you know it's because of the paste.
But you don't.
It says it in the name.
Paste pot
Pete.
Who's walking around with a paste pot?
That's the thing. I watched somebody talk about, and I found it very interesting, of how you could see like with a character like this, because you know at the time this is Jack Kirby, Stan, all of them just sitting there.
You can see
just having to just like throw stuff out, and they said, you know, he's probably sitting there trying to think of a villain for this issue that he needs to get out, and he's like, oh,
he just looks around at a bottle of glue.
There's my paste pot, because
my paste pot.
Back in the time when they would have to make edits for this, like they'd have to cut pieces out and glue it to the page and stuff. So you probably had a paste pot.
There's my inkwell. There's my spats that I took off when I came through the door. I can't
think of an I name. Ivan Inkwell could have been one.
Ivan Inkwell. I like that.
Yeah. I don't know what he would have done. He would have had a bucket of ink and then an ink
He's
gun.
always drawing attention.
Oh.
Thank you. That sucked.
Man, I tried to make it sound better.
Yeah, but you did. It was. I appreciate the
basically
sound effects, the Foley work you just did.
We'll make it a shorter one because we don't really need to get into how big of a failure he is, because he does try to steal the warhead.
Well, all you've got is glue.
That's right. That's the thing, is basically through all this, he is getting point to where the Human Torch is able to get the weapon back, to give back, and he's going to apprehend Paste Pot Pete, who apparently hired somebody to drive a boat out in the middle of the ocean, because he like drops off the weapon to get away, and he speeds off in a boat that he hired for somebody to have him.
What if it's that cow from the glue bottle out there on the boat?
I thought it was a pig.
It's a cow.
On Elmer's?
It's like Elsie, yeah.
That's a cow?
Yeah.
Why? They don't make glue out of cows.
I don't know, man. Elmer's.
It should have had a picture of Secretariat. Are we sure? I don't know.
I
believe you. I don't know why I always thought it looked like a pig.
Pig glue.
Yeah. So, through this character's.
Yeah, man. It's a right. Now you're making me doubt it.
Well, I don't know.
Oh yeah, here, look. Oh, come on. I don't want to buy glue from Amazon. There you go.
Okay, it is a cow. Yeah, it has the little. Okay.
Yeah, it's more of a bull. Honestly.
Yeah, that is true.
Ooh.
Oh.
No, I didn't like that.
I didn't even think about
just
that.
Went through my head. I don't like that at all.
That's why I always got the clear glue.
Yeah.
Sorry. And we'll just leave it at that and move on.
Man, come on. There's kids around.
But Paste Pot Pete is just always a minor character throughout. He comes back up later.
Well, sure he is. I mean, why would he be a major character?
In another strange tale later where he fights the Thing and Johnny Storm and ends up losing, there's a part where he decides that he's a part of a group that fights the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Called the Frightful Four.
Okay.
And it's Paste Pot Pete.
Paste Pot Pete.
It is Sandman.
Okay.
It is
Sandman's got cool powers.
Yeah. It is the Wizard.
I don't know.
Who was like a super smart.
Is that when Jordan went back?
No, I mean, yeah, it was a Wizard when Jordan went back. Which, by the way, because I'm sure people love how we just get off topic
NBA
here.
aside.
Yeah, NBA aside.
NBA aside.
No, in a way, I love Jeff Pearlman as an author, and if you're a big sports fan, like Jeff Pearlman books are really good.
Okay.
But I'm almost done with reading Showtime, which was his book about the 80s Lakers.
Yeah.
And some of the stories that are in there.
Is that the one that Will Ferrell and what's his face were supposed to make?
Like, they're still making it. Adam McKay's still making it.
All right.
Will
That's
Ferrell's
the one they
just not
split
a part
over,
of
though,
it.
right?
Yeah, which I didn't know that caused the split. But I can kind of see now just because.
Thanks, Lakers.
Well, it should be a really interesting HBO series because the book is really good.
Okay.
And there's a lot of funny things that go on. Like, well, you can just read it, but I just wish I could tell so much right. Either way.
Well, it's kind of like what was it, North Dallas 40 kind of thing about the Cowboys?
Yeah, in a way.
Locker room.
Well, he
crap
also,
that went on.
Jeff Pearlman also wrote Boys Won't Be Boys, which is about the 90s Cowboys too.
Ah, gotcha.
So he like spins, like he follows, he wrote the USF or the USFL book that I read. And he has another one about like the Shaq and Kobe Lakers owner. He's a really good author. But
okay,
I say all that.
So he likes the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. I say all that to bring up because we were talking about
Paste Pot Pete.
We were talking about Paste Pot Pete, but there was a reason why. There was a story that I was going to make here.
That was Pete Maravich's first. He was going to be called Paste Pot Pete, but it was already taken.
No, it's not. But I'll just at least share. I can't remember what it was, but so I'll share this funny story to go along with Paste Pot Pete being an idiot.
Paste Pot Pete.
Do you remember a guy by the name of Mark Landsberger? Tall, goofy white guy who played for the Lakers for a while, and he bounced around and played for some other teams too.
He bounced around.
But he was kind of known of being like super nice guy, but super dumb.
Okay. What is it? Did it say his last name again?
Landsberger.
Mark
Landsberger. This was early 80s.
All right.
But the Lakers PR would keep him around, and they would send him to, like, whenever there was a team event at, like, a grocery store.
Oh, yeah. He was the guy.
He was the guy they sent. And this little kid came up to him one day while he was at one of these events and goes, with a team poster, and goes, Mr. Landsberger, can I get your autograph and your number?
Sure.
You know, I
your
guess
number?
The kid wants, like, Mark Landsberger, number 44.
Oh, okay.
I guess just so he can tell where it is. And Landsberger goes, why do you want my number? And the kid goes, well, I think it would look like really cool on the poster to do.
Sure.
Like, you know.
Sure.
And he's like, all right, sure. Signs it. Mark
Does he write his phone number?
310.
Oh, man, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And there are a lot of great stories in there like that. But
that's wonderful.
I kind of got on a tangent. There was something else I was supposed to bring
story,
up.
Man.
Go ahead and read. There's so many fantastic stories in there like that. Like, you get to see how it's so weird that I feel like Jerry Buss might be the reason why Magic Johnson turned out to be like Magic Johnson in a way. There's just a piece in the book, and I know that y'all turned in to Superhero Talk to hear this.
Spot Pete.
But this is actually just a super interesting little tidbit. Like, when Magic first shows up at Jerry Buss, who is the owner of the LA Lakers house right after he'd been drafted, Jerry's getting ready. So Magic is talking to his daughter Jeannie. They're about the same age at the time.
Magic and Jeannie.
That's crazy. That is funny. And I think Jeannie actually runs the Lakers now.
Jeannie Buss?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so
I was thinking that was Magic Johnson's daughter. I was like, Magic and Jeannie, man, you're taking that too far.
Sorry, Jeannie Buss. I think she's like with Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
But he's down there.
Couple.
Yeah, he's down there, and he's like, you know, or she goes, so are you happy about being drafted into the NBA? And he's like, yeah, I am. I'm going to be here 3 years, and then I'm going to leave, and I'm going to sign with the Pistons. I'm going to play the rest of my career there.
Really?
So I can play in front of my family. Like, I just want to be a home. Like,
he was from Michigan, huh?
Yeah. Okay. He was just, he was more of kind of like a homebody, just he was a very infectious, obviously, like, very, you know, he had a smile that lit up the room kind of, and everybody wanted to be around. You know, he
sauna.
If you see Magic Johnson, he is one of the happiest guys ever.
He is. Yeah. He absolutely is.
He just oozes charisma and personality.
Sure.
I'm not making the best choices of
Elmer's glue.
This episode brought to you by Elmer's glue.
And Paste Pot Pete.
But it's so funny then. So his daughter runs up and goes, Dad, like, he's going to leave after this.
Yeah.
And Jerry tells her, don't worry about it. He's never stepped onto the forum court and played yet. Like, once he gets there and sees everybody chanting his name, it'll be different.
Yeah. Also,
though, since Magic was the hottest thing in LA, and Jerry Buss, for lack of a better comparison,
Showtime
is like a sports version of Hugh Hefner.
Right.
Took Johnson with him everywhere.
Oh, I don't doubt that. Yeah.
And then that became the lifestyle for So it's just interesting to see how things develop.
Sure.
Back to Paste Pot Pete, though.
Paste Pot Pete.
But go read Showtime. It's a really great.
Yeah, it sounds good.
It's a great book, and I think the series is going to be great.
If I didn't hate the Lakers so much, I would read it.
We'll see. And I usually don't like the Lakers either, but the beauty of it is I'm able to focus on, like, I don't have to like them as a whole to understand the story.
Right.
But also, I do have a feeling, because the reason I heard is that Will Ferrell was going to play Jerry Buss.
Oh, I see.
And because, it's he and Adam McKay. I think they even have like their Gary Sanchez production company. Which they don't together anymore now.
Right.
But so I think he was going to play Buss. And my feeling now, after I've read the book and I've seen the character develop some more now, it seems to me like Adam McKay, like maybe they went in more as like a full comedy way to do it.
Right.
And then you read and you realize that Buss kind of has to be a little back and forth between the two. And so McKay hired John C. Reilly to play Buss.
Sure.
Reilly and Ferrell are obviously great friends.
Yeah.
Reilly called Ferrell to make sure, hey, you're not going to have a problem if I do this.
Right.
Will Ferrell's like, no, that's fine. But then that's what caused the...
Yeah.
So...
The disillusion of their friendship.
There's also the explanation of the problems with Will Ferrell and Adam McKay, in case you want to know that.
There you go.
If you wanted to hear about Paste Pot Pete, then maybe you just fast forward past the last 3 minutes.
Okay, so we were at Paste Pot Pete. He gets defeated a lot.
He does get defeated a lot. Oh, he's the Frightful Four. It's his group with the wizard, who's a super smart guy, and then some woman named Medusa, who all I could figure out from like reading and look at her is like she can maneuver her hair to like tie people up.
Sure. Okay.
All right. So they were basically...
She didn't turn people to stone.
No, which would have been a cool power.
It would have been very cool.
No, I'm going to use maybe she can eventually. I didn't read too much.
Sure.
I got to save Medusa maybe for another episode.
Right. Who wouldn't want to hear about that?
But Paste Pot Pete then is obviously usually always apprehended at the end of all this.
Triple P.
The big moment for him comes when, after he keeps losing to the Human Torch, he decides, I'm going to go out and do my own thing.
Yeah.
And he comes in contact with Spider-Man, who has now showed up to stop him instead of the Human Torch.
Okay. Torch is like,
Spider-Man,
this guy. This
Spider-Man's
is
basically like, who are you? And he's like, I'm Paste Pot Pete. Spider-Man loses it. He just dies laughing.
Really?
Like, it incapacitates him because he is laughing so hard.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah.
And Paste Pot Pete is just kind of like, F this.
Right.
And like turns around and leaves to go just like, I'm not dealing with this Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And the Human Torch still somehow intercepts him and arrests him.
Oh, wonderful.
So after this, Paste Pot Pete takes a book out of the artist formerly known as Prince's book.
Okay.
And changes his name to the Trapster.
The Trapster.
The Trapster. Because he has glue.
So it's like a sticky trap.
Yes, he is now the Trapster.
Oh, come on.
He still uses glue. He has appeared in a lot of stuff.
This guy just needed like a social media person, somebody that could really you're good. Yeah. Somebody that could really get his brand right.
He's changed. Like he thought that maybe changes in his suit would help. He got rid of the paste pot.
It did not help.
And created some kind of like jacket that I guess the paste comes from.
He kind of looks like one of those sentries or whatever from Marvel. You know, the big giant tall guys that they're purple and green. But he's got skinny legs.
That's the thing. It's like he's got a giant torso and skinny legs.
Yeah. It's like he's not worried about his legs getting blown off.
Yeah.
Just his main torso.
And see, that's him with the Spider-Man where he's...
he's looking a little better there.
Yeah, he's not as skinny leg.
Right, when you look at him up front.
Basically...
But it does look like he has one of those puffy vests on.
Yeah, I don't get... Well, it connects to it, too. So, like, it's got to... Like, how does he refill the paste in there?
Purple.
Purple?
Purple. I'm trying to think of something. I don't know.
All right, that'll work. Purple. That's why.
Purple vest or something.
I wonder how he's able to load more paste in there. Purple. That is your answer. The color purple is the reason that he's able to.
Speaking of purple mattresses make a great gift.
Yeah. Go and enter code BROFOHERO for... You're not getting anything
for zero
off.
Discount
for an extra added 15% tax
for your browser to go. What are you doing?
And and redirect you to a mattress company that would sponsor us, which is probably.
You ever laid on one of those purple mattresses?
No, are they good?
It's weird. Like
I've seen one of the pillows.
They're not.
It's the.
Yeah, it's like a grid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Purple.
I mean, it's a great product.
Get at us, would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd like to talk about your mattresses.
I'd love to talk about your mattresses.
Just like I'd love to be. Today's episode is brought to you by HelloFresh. Get at us on that too.
Sure. HelloFresh. Purple.
Yeah. HelloFresh, the meal planning kit for all your terrible comic book heroes and villains.
The Trapster's favorite meal kit.
Yeah, the Trapsters. He really likes it because he can't go out and rob banks, so it gives us something to do. Or he can't go out and rob banks without being apprehended.
He's got all that trap music playing all the time too.
That's all he does. So here's the Trapster coming.
Here he comes. If he wouldn't play that music, we wouldn't know he was committing a crime.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not necessarily a super long one, but just one that.
Yeah.
Paste Pot Pete. I thought was too great of a name.
No, it's a fantastic name.
Not to include, and it's just a dude with the glue gun who lasted. This isn't a one-time thing though, too.
Right.
Like this is a guy that's still there, and he's appeared in he was in the 1990s Fantastic Four cartoon. Like it's not a guy that went away. He was in the
when he was in the 90s. When was he Trapster or Paste Pot Pete?
I think he was
probably
Trapster.
I can't even imagine. Like if I said Paste Pot Pete,
Paste Pot Pete in the 70s one though.
Well, what I'm saying is, if I said Paste Pot Pete to a kid today,
nobody knows what a paste pot is.
What the hell is a paste pot?
Tastes good. I mean, the paste in the paste pot.
Sure.
I just got an image of a little kid just like eating the paste.
Eating paste. That's it. That's what I'm saying.
But here's the thing: is everybody talks about a paste eater, or not everybody.
Everybody's talking about.
But I saw my white pants. Sorry, I'm all over the place today.
I saw a press conference. Biden, Paste Pot Pete. Yeah, he's always talking about paste eaters.
Everybody, I don't remember a kid in our class eating paste. So.
I don't either. The closest I can remember is you put the glue on your hand and then you peel it off.
Oh yeah,
there was one kid that would do it way too much.
Oh yeah,
you know that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yep, that's how it was. Or he would do it on his fingertips. Is what he liked to do all the time.
Peeling my skin off.
I just remember when he'd like rub it on. He's like, "Now you can't tell my fingerprints." I'm like, yeah.
Now I'm gonna rob a bank.
Yeah. No, I don't remember who that was. I just remember being told. It
was Paste Pot Pete.
Pete, I hope you were successful. No, excuse me, Trapster. I hope you were.
Sorry, little less informal. I'm Paste Pot Peter.
Oh man, so that is
Paste Pot
Peter. That is Paste Pot Peter.
Sure.
A guy who just had glue as his.
Crazy.
There is something I left out there. I'm sorry. In the middle. So after the first time he was arrested and apprehended by the Human Torch.
Right.
Baron Zemo.
Baron Zemo. Is that the guy with the purple hood?
No.
Right? Doesn't he wear a purple hood?
Does he?
Is he not the one from Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I never watched Falcon and Winter Soldier. He might be. He's in. Okay. Zach. Baron Zemo is the one who wakes up. Oh, come on. Civil War.
Oh. He wakes up Captain America?
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
Remember where he
yes.
that's Baron Zemo.
Yes, that's the one who's in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Okay, then it's the same character. Well, in the comics,
and all I'm thinking about is this picture of him with that purple hood.
See,
right?
And I haven't got there yet, so I haven't watched.
It's this dude.
Yeah, who's a really good actor. But so Baron Zemo in the comics, though, he somehow comes up with this. Oh, it's really cool, actually.
See, there he is with the purple hood. Yeah, they did a good job.
He comes up with this paste as well.
Baron Zemo does?
Does, when he fights the Avengers.
Okay.
And they need Paste Pot Pete's help to come up with a solvent to be able to release them.
And then there's a special 6-issue run where it's all about copyright infringement between Baron Zemo and Paste Pot Pete. Well, it's riveting courtroom drama.
The thing that's funny is so he helps them and they're like, all right, we'll reduce your sentence. You're out.
Yeah.
There's not a thought of I should do good now. He's like, I'm out. I'm going back to being a bad guy.
I'm out. Got to get some glue.
Exactly.
Wow.
So Paste Pot Pete, everybody. I thought since we had a little bit of time, there is something comic book related that I wanted to talk about that we haven't talked about much.
Oh. Hawkeye?
No.
Have you watched Hawkeye?
I have not watched Hawkeye.
I've only watched one episode of Hawkeye.
I am so far behind. I just now started watching WandaVision.
Oh, okay.
It was just...
you're in for a treat.
I've told people... Well, I watched the first episode, and I loved how it felt like a Dick Van Dyke kind of Bewitched episode.
Yeah, just wait.
I'm sure
Yeah, it's great. It really is.
But
when it first came out, there had been nothing like that, and so when I watched it, I was like, "What the hell am I watching here?" You know?
Yeah. But like after Endgame, I felt like I had committed so much to the Marvel Universe.
I get that
I'd stepped back and took a little bit of a break. I say that I still watch the Spider-Man movie just because.
Right.
There's 3 guys.
By the way, I'm super jacked up about the new Spider-Man.
And that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Super jacked up.
But there's 3 guys, in case you're ever curious of how it falls for me.
Yeah.
Batman is always my 1A.
Sure.
Will always be my 1A.
Sure. 1B
is always Spider-Man for me. And then I guess number 2 or 3 underneath that is Iron Man.
Okay.
And the reason I always love those characters.
Now this is comic books,
comic books,
movies,
characters, everything.
Okay.
Just comic book characters in general. Because
Iron Man's great because he's so flawed.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I love them all as well. Like Peter Parker does have powers in a way.
Sure.
But it's not like, he shoot webs, he swings. Yeah. He's still a goofy high school kid who makes mistakes.
Sure.
And I think I love the human element of all of those characters. Yeah. Is because Tony and Bruce are just regular humans.
True.
Who have a lot of money.
Very true.
Now, granted, I can't relate to the money part of that, but it's easier to relate to a guy like I know that, Bruce Wayne just trained like anybody else. It's not like he has special bat powers that he.
Well, he did go see those monks in the hills or whatever it was.
Oh, that is true. Well,
but that was really it.
Yeah, but so that's why I've always drifted towards those guys. So
yeah.
I watched the Spider-Man movie when it came out because I love the character.
This was
the No Way Home, Far From Home, the one with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Sure, yeah.
Which was really good.
It is good. And they handle Mephisto pretty well.
Mysterio,
sure. They handle him well,
Mr. Mr. Mixelplex?
Mr. Mixelplex, yeah.
Yeah, no, so it was great. But then after that, I've just kind of was like, I'm taking a little bit of a break just so I can get ready for... Because I felt like if I wanted to dive into what's about to happen, it's going to ask a lot from you in a way. Just because everything that's happening with this whole multiverse thing in Spider-Man is only going to be amplified for the Doctor Strange stuff.
It's about to get real busy.
So I decided to give myself like a little bit of just a break to mentally be able to recoup. So now I'm slowly trying to get into this.
Just only reading manga and only watching anime.
That's all I do. Sure. As much anime as possible.
Take a good backwards book anytime I can.
Hey, they're not. I actually have a Legend of Zelda manga that tells the Ocarina of Time story. It's really cool.
Man, you got to stop saying those words.
Man, usually I don't feel nerdy around you, but then you say stuff like that. You said
Zelda. You said Zelda. You said
manga and Ocarina
of Time. It's like, oof.
All right.
What happened?
How many other people can I think haven't called me a nerd yet? I'll keep going.
Authored by Jigglypuff. Yeah, sure.
That's the thing. I came in today and there was a Pokemon
there is a card. Yeah.
And I don't even know if it's a Mike's. And I just tossed it to Mike and told him, hey, you forgot your Jigglypuff. And he goes, thanks. Oh, he's like, pound 10. I go, yeah. But then he can sing and put people to sleep. I should have been so excited about that, but I was.
No. We're starting a show called Teach Me Pokemon, and I'm the old man who's going to get taught Pokemon.
Well, there, I tried to help with Jigglypuff a little bit.
I appreciate that.
Did you ever watch the Detective Pikachu movie?
Dude, come on.
It's not a bad movie.
I did because of a child being in our house. I was not happy about it.
You liked it.
I didn't.
It wasn't that bad.
It just seems like a real waste of Ryan Reynolds to me, but whatever. Because okay. All right, real quick, soapbox. And I may have brought this up before. I don't understand celebrities and cartoons. I don't know why
We've talked about it a little bit, yeah.
Nobody needs, freaking Brad Pitt doing the voice of a horse in some farm animal thing.
Okay, I understand that.
No kid on earth is going, oh my God, Mommy, it's Brad Pitt.
But I don't think they're doing that for the kids. I think they're pushing that for the adults.
It just makes it so expensive.
Oh, well, yeah.
When you could put out good quality kids programming at reasonable rates. Sounds like a local commercial.
It does.
We have good quality kids programming at reasonable rates.
But it sounds like it's just like you and me dressed up in different costumes, just shooting all the little videos.
I'm Pikachu.
Yeah. Oh no, Pikachu. Pikachu. And there's like other Pokemon. Like I've just drawn drawings that's on like sticks of paper. Like
Bradley Cooper's after me.
Which, by the way, I found out never been on set at all for. Did you see that? The Guardians
for real?
of the Galaxy?
He's never been on set?
Him nor Vin Diesel.
Oh, wow.
Just because all they have to do.
Vin Diesel. Who wants to be around that guy?
Well, all he says is "I am Groot." So
I am Groot.
Yeah, but
honestly, they do like 5 takes of that, just save it and just reuse it over and over.
Yeah, but it was funny. He was bringing up that neither of them have been on set for any of the movies.
Do you think they make him record each individual Groot?
I don't know about each individual one, but I feel like they like show it and he has to do like, all right, Groot feels like this in this one.
My motivation for this one is
like, no, I don't know Vin Diesel at all, so I'm not gonna just.
You don't know Vin Diesel?
I'm thinking there was a time,
not as deeply as I'd like to.
There was a time that Vinny D and I used to be pretty tight.
Vinny D.
But no, I don't.
Face spot Pete.
But I'm just saying, like, I felt that they were probably like, all right, he's sad in this one. And Vin Diesel's just like, you have to tell me how to say Groot. I am Groot. Yeah.
I am Groot.
But before I got on let's talk Spider-Man real quick before we close out the show today.
Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
This is about the new one.
The new one, that is
No Way Home.
No Way Home. Because all of them have to talk about
No Way Home.
Homecoming was the first one.
Home is where the heart is.
It was Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. I think the next fourth one's going to be Homeward Bound, and it's him and 2 dogs and a cat trying to get back to New York.
Trying to get to heaven. Sure.
Yeah. I think Robert Redford. No, I don't know. Somebody voiced the people. Somebody noteworthy voiced the animals in Homeward Bound. But I am excited about it as well.
Yeah. What's crazy to me is that the Spider-Man and the Doctor Strange movies are kind of overlapping. That's just nutty.
I have some thoughts. I'm not going to get into all of them because I feel like some of it will be potential spoilers and some people get upset about that. So what I will talk about, though, that I do find very strange is, so we at least know the general like MO of the movie.
Yeah.
Basically, all these villains from former Spider-Man adventures.
Well, what I understand is Peter Parker's trying to set things right.
Yeah,
like everybody knows who he is now.
And he wants to go back in time and make it to where nobody knows.
It's Superman 2.
Exactly.
Where he makes the planet go backwards.
But he can't swing fast enough around the entire world to make it go backwards. So he has to get Doctor Strange to help him.
When did he get like Iceman or, somebody who can go really... The Flash is DC. So.
I'm trying to think who is...
Is there somebody real fast?
Quicksilver.
Yeah, there you go.
And we've already had Quicksilver in the Avengers movie. He's dead in this one, though.
Yeah.
Well, unless you had in X-Men, he's alive, though. So
I can't wait until you finish WandaVision.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm stoked for this. But I think the big thing is, so all the villains from all the other ones come back.
Yeah. Which is weird.
It is weird, but I love it.
Sure.
Because Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin was fantastic.
Yep.
Alfred Molina as Doc Ock might have been one of, if not the best villain of the Spider-Man movies.
He is perfect casting for Doc Ock.
Oh, he's so good. Because he can play that... He can still be sympathetic while being... He's really good.
And to be honest with you, Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman is a good one.
I do. I love Thomas Hayden Church.
Yeah.
Ever since he was Lowell on Wings, I've always loved Thomas Hayden Church.
Sideways.
Another great movie. Him and Paul Giamatti. Is it Lucy? No, who's the...
Yeah, it's Lucy Liu.
Is it Lucy Liu?
Yeah, the one he gets pinched in the face for.
Yeah. So the 3 of them, and then you have a non-blue Jamie Foxx Electro, which is exciting. I think he looks better in the trailer now, the way they have him, than they did in the other one.
Sure.
And I think we have...
It makes me want to go and watch those weird Spider-Man movies between the Raimi ones and now.
Yes.
Because I didn't watch any of those.
You didn't?
No.
Here's what's funny. I like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And just because I enjoy Andrew Garfield as an actor.
Okay.
Some people don't. Some people didn't like him as... Peter Parker at all.
I think he's fine. I really like Tom Holland better.
I do.
But
I think the whole, the most common thought is that Toby was the best Peter Parker, Garfield was the best Spider-Man, Holland's the best of both.
Yeah, he really is.
So
he really is.
But so that's a lot of villains for him to fight, and then you can see the way things are edited. that it looks like even that giant scene from the trailer, and this isn't spoilers, you can just go and watch it, and this is just a guess from me. But the way the villains are looking, there's going to be more than one Spider-Man there.
Oh, absolutely.
Like this is...
It's going to be all three of them.
They haven't said anything about it, and this could turn out to be, in a way, just because they haven't, a huge disappointment if not.
I don't think so.
But I don't think so either.
I think it's going to be all three of them.
And I don't think that they would go around and have, like, there was like a Comic-Con somewhere this weekend, and they had like a villains panel where they had Willem Dafoe, Alfred Molina, and Jamie Foxx all talk about the movie. I don't think you do that, because you're trying to make it a big deal if it's just one Spider-Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, poor Andrew Garfield, because he's the one. Tobey Maguire doesn't speak to the media anymore at all, really. Yeah. He's kind of, you know. Sure. But poor Andrew Garfield has been trying to promote so many other things. Like he's in the new, there's a new Lin-Manuel Miranda musical that he's a part of that's supposed to be really good.
In the Heights?
No, not The Heights. It's Tick, Tick, Boom. It was one that just came out.
Boom. Yeah. Okay.
That he's supposed to be really good in. There was another movie, and they all want to ask him about Spider-Man.
Doesn't Tick, Tick, Boom sound like one of those English mobster things?
Like Tom Hardy should be in it playing a gangster of some sort. Yeah, it does.
Go ahead.
Or a Hive song. Well, it is a Hive song. But so every time they ask him about it, he has to tell them, "No, I'm not in it." Like, and I feel like Marvel is just making the poor man lie to everybody.
I agree. Yeah,
and
I think you're right.
It just doesn't necessarily put him in the best light. Like he's trying to, because if he shows up in this, nobody's going to believe him about anything now if he ever has to hide anything else.
It's true.
And it's just because Marvel's basically told him, don't you tell anybody about this.
Yeah, but I think it's the worst kept secret, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
They're all in it.
I'm excited about it.
You don't bring back all those villains from those movies and not have everybody show up.
I mean, it might be small.
I don't care.
I feel like the thing that I think, okay, I'll tell you this right now. Again, spoiler alert from the people who will get butthurt by this. This is just a guess, though. There's a scene on that rafters part.
Yeah.
Where Zendaya is falling.
Right.
The new Mary Jane. And to me, it seemed very similar to when Gwen Stacy. Oh, you didn't see them. Never mind.
Gwen what?
Because you said you haven't seen the Andrew Garfield ones.
No.
It's very similar to those who have. The way she's falling, like kind of like that. It reminds me
off a bridge or what?
Of, in the second Spider-Man, they stayed true to the comics, and Emma Stone played Gwen Stacy, and it was one of those where he's trying to save her after being dropped, and in the process, like kills her of saving her, like the comic book storyline was. I was the only person in that entire movie theater to fist pump. And I feel like people thought that I was crazy rooting for a character's death, but I wasn't. I was like,
yeah, I finally killed Emma Stone.
No, I was like, yeah, they're super nerdy and stuck with how it was in the, But that scene's a little similar, and I feel like maybe that's where we see Andrew Garfield. It's kind of like a redemption scene in a way of him saving. So. Anyway, there's a lot of things. I do need
to watch those. Yeah,
they're not awful.
No,
they're not great.
It's that whole Sony thing. I don't like the fact that these superheroes don't know each other.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, like they kind of do.
But I'm saying if I watch a Spider-Man movie, if I watch that second one that you're talking about, Spider-Man is the only superhero.
Yeah, that is true.
It's it. And we know from comics that New York is just, you can't throw a cat without hitting a superhero.
Especially Marvel, like everybody's in there.
Yeah.
Like at least with
they don't even go, oh, it's Gotham. You know, they don't even it's always New York City.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing too, is like they don't even do what like Daredevil did, at least, where it takes place in the same thing, and we will reference stuff.
Right.
To let you know, like, yeah, this is the same world.
Right.
He just like Daredevil just doesn't bump into it.
Right.
But like, you know, I remember in the first season, they're like, well, the rent's cheap after the whole incident that happened here downtown by Avengers.
Yeah.
You know, like there's things like that. So, you know, it's still in that world.
I do love, and this is just me being totally geeky, and I'm pumping my fist at my house, but in private. I do love the fact that they keep referencing like all the damage and destruction that superheroes do. Mm-hmm. That is fantastic, because that is an underlying issue with every movie like this that you watch. I don't care if it's a Lord of the Rings. I don't care if it's a superhero, whatever. They just tear everything up.
And then the next movie, it's like, oh, hey, they're here to save us again.
And that has to be like a national nightmare, because it has to take years and years to build everything back.
Exactly. Like, that was part of my problem with the Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Is just, I get it was his first battle and stuff, I guess, kind of that proportion. But the destruction of that whole city.
Yeah, I just love that
Metropolis.
I just love that Marvel movies reference all that stuff and they make them more real.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. All right,
The Boys is even better, but yeah,
I love The Boys.
Yeah,
I'm so ready for season 3. Yeah. I don't think we're gonna get it till probably the end of next year, but
yeah, but that's all right. I'll wait.
Oh, it's so good. Jensen Ackles is gonna be in it this season.
Yeah, yeah. It looks excellent. That looks excellent. What was the other one I was thinking of? The dude that's in the new Guardians, that actor, he's playing, well, damn it.
The new Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, new Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians 3, which you have to watch the holiday special to get to.
Is the holiday special this year?
The holiday special, I think, is not until next Christmas.
Oh. Something by the way, you talked about Spider-Man real quick. Did you ever watch the Into the Spider-Verse, the animated one?
Yeah.
Sony announced yesterday a new one of those too.
I saw that. Yeah.
That looks really cool. And it looks like
That's a really great way to get kids into it, though, because
is.
it's made for kids, but it's got all the adult references and stuff in it, which is great.
Oh, and it was so, I like the way it was animated. I like the story. It was all really good in the first one.
Yeah.
The soundtrack was great, like all of it.
I hated it the first time I saw it. And it's because I saw it in a theater and the frame rate was off. And so it kept giving me a headache. It would give me a headache. And so, but then I watched it at home with again, a child, and it was pretty good.
Yeah. No. So that's something to look forward to there as well. All right. So I think that's all for this week.
Is that it?
Yeah. I mean, I can come up with something else.
You don't want to talk about LeBron James going into the toilet?
I mean, like
over the last month?
No, it's been. I did see a stat the other day, and that LeBron, what was it? LeBron has missed the same amount of games in the last 4 seasons as he had in his first 15.
This is how you destroy a legacy, kids. This is it right here. You get into a fight, you ask people to be removed, you grab your crotch and go up and down the court.
Yeah.
And then you get COVID.
But at the same time, he's not the only one to go through all that.
He is the highest profile one to go through.
But I've seen Russell Wilson have people thrown out before. Granted, when Russell Wilson did, it was obvious those people needed to be thrown out.
You're not helping his case. Yeah.
But not Russell Wilson, Russell Westbrook.
Oh, yeah. Well,
but still, it's a teammate now.
Even worse.
No, I mean, I will tell you as a Houston fan, I will take Russell Westbrook all day long compared to James Harden, though.
Oh, sure.
As a guy who had both.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. I would take Russ all day long.
Right.
But, I mean.
By the way, we're in beautiful Waco, Texas, and I've never been a big fan of the Baylor Bears, but I do want to congratulate them on their Big 12 championship.
Never been a fan?
No. Lived here all my life, and I felt they always got in the way.
That's fine. Each is all, because I'm the same as Mike, and I've been here all my life, and I am happy for it. I'm sorry. He did say congratulations.
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't say that. You are happy for it.
I've mellowed in my old age.
Okay, he's mellowed. Sure. I have been a fan for a lot of my life.
Right.
I guess I should say.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between us. I didn't mean to.
We have had the conversation where you get free tickets at school and all that stuff, right? Like when you were a kid, they were so bad, and they would just give away free tickets and stuff.
Oh, kind of. We would drive
through the Wendy's, buy a hamburger, get
at
13 free tickets.
No, what we would do is, so when I was in Boy Scouts, days after home games, they would pay us to clean Floyd Casey Stadium.
Oh yeah, cool.
And we would get money from them to put into our account and stuff.
Yeah.
And also because we were Boy Scouts.
In your Boy Scout account.
Yeah. Well, you had dues and stuff you had to pay.
Think of how many patches I can buy.
Well, we would it would cost money when we go to summer camp and stuff, and we would already have it saved back. Like my mother,
it costs money to go to Webelow State.
Yeah. Webelow State. That's funny. But so my mother would make us go. We're gonna clean after every home game because that's money we don't have to pay.
Absolutely, sure.
So I got to
get free plastic cups,
dude. I would.
I know.
Because I never get it. And I'd wash the cups and I have the cups. And then people would buy programs and leave them there. So I'd get full programs and stuff.
Sure.
My first Baylor football memory, I was telling somebody this the other day. It had to be like, I was born in 88.
Okay.
So I want to say maybe 96, 97, one of the first years of the Big 12.
Yeah.
And we went and saw them play Missouri.
Okay.
And I remember we I went with a church group.
Sure.
And so because of that, usually your group tickets and stuff always, it's higher up where you can find all those together.
Right.
So when we started the game, we were sitting in the upper level. By about halftime, we were 3 or 4 rows away from the front because
you couldn't do that now.
No. Well, that's the thing. It's so funny. I talked to somebody.
Full.
I talked to somebody the other day, and they were like, "Man, the team was bad. Like my first year on campus, they only won one game." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Oh, this is 2017." I was like, "Yeah," but then they went back to winning right afterwards. Like, you have to understand, like teams will have.
Well, it's like last year, and they won what, 2?
Yeah, but it's a transition period to a new coach.
Absolutely, sure.
And so 2 wins to Big 12 champions.
Yeah.
Same with when Matt Rule was here. 1 win to bowl game playing it. Yeah, exactly. One win
to rule them all.
No. So they're nowhere near as bad as they used to be.
No. And
I think it's been good for the city as a whole too.
I agree.
But definitely congrats on the Big 12 title. Yeah. And congrats to Oklahoma State for playing a tough game. It didn't look good at first, but it was a
rough game at the end. Yeah.
I kind of felt bad for them.
I did too.
Just because, obviously I wanted Baylor to win, but
what is it, 42? That saved the 24-42, whatever it was, that saved the guy coming around the corner.
That last one?
Because he should have had that.
Oh, and that's the thing, watching that, if he takes one, I think he waited too long before he cut up to dive.
Yeah. And it's not the 2000 Super Bowl. That would have won it.
Yeah. No, I think if he cut up just a little bit sooner, and I'm sure that guy probably saw the tape and was beating himself up in the locker room for it. But still.
Last sports reference here before we go. I refuse to watch the Kurt Warner movie with the guy from Shazam in it.
Zachary Levi?
Yeah.
Dude, it's a Chuck reunion. I told you that because
that's wonderful.
Adam Baldwin's in it.
I grew up.
But I'm not going to watch it
Oilers fan who then became a Tennessee Oilers fan who then became a Tennessee Titans fan.
No, I know where this is going.
I lived through that Super Bowl. I do not want to relive it.
I see. Okay. Now, I'm a Houston Texans fan.
Yes, sure.
And I don't know if I think we have, but I'll just do it again. I, too, was also an Oilers fan.
Yeah.
And then I followed them to Tennessee, and then I became a Titans fan.
Right.
But then in 2002, when the franchise came back to Houston,
sure,
I was like, it's been fun, but I don't feel like
I get it.
Yeah. And so I went back to Houston. I've been a Texans fan since. But I say that to tell you that I was with you on watching that Super Bowl. And I remember as a 12-year-old kid being like, he was so close.
I remember throwing my hat across the room.
Kevin Dyson was so close.
I remember Eddie George being a man on a mission. Mm-hmm. It was such a good game. I loved those Titans teams though. Yeah.
Eddie George, Steve McNair.
Eddie George was amazing.
Kevin Dyson.
You could pile 3 guys on Eddie George and he wouldn't go down.
Wycheck. Frank Wycheck.
Oh yeah, Frank Wycheck. This is I think we still had some of the uncle to all those brothers.
Bruce Matthews or Clay Matthews?
Yeah.
Clay Matthews is the...
We still had Bruce, I believe, at
really?
that time.
Still at that time?
Yeah.
That might have been.
Because he played for 19 seasons or something. He played forever.
And all of them with that franchise, too, I'm pretty sure.
And he loved comic books, just to bring it back.
There you go. Okay. Well, no. And he never had to worry about getting in trouble for anything because NFL Super Pro would have his back.
You got it. NFL Super Pro forever.
There we go. All right. We appreciate it as always. You can find us on Instagram, Bros, Foes, Heroes.
Yep.
Feel free to shoot us an email, brosfoesandheroes@gmail.com.
You checked that inbox lately?
I have.
Oh, okay.
I check it pretty regularly.
Nothing from Andrew Garfield yet?
No. Well, here, I'll pull it up right now. I mean, that's how it works, right? If he probably heard his ears ringing.
Yeah.
From us talking about.
Well, he's afraid it's either his spidey senses or somebody's talking about him. Or maybe it's both.
I don't know. How do you feel about Andrew Garfield as we just sit here and ramble while I check the email?
I don't think much about Andrew Garfield, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
Just like he doesn't cross your mind.
No, he doesn't really. I'm like, oh, yeah, there's that Andrew Garfield.
Huh.
He loves lasagna and hates Mondays.
Oh, does he? Is he like the cat?
No.
Oh, well.
I don't think so.
No, I was excited.
Way too on
I was
brand,
like,
I believe.
Man, maybe Andrew Garfield really doesn't like lasagna. Which
they're making a Heathcliff movie?
Why?
I don't know.
I read that was
Heathcliff, the dollar store version of Garfield.
Yeah, I was about to say, I remember it was more just comics for him. No, there was a cartoon.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It was very dirty looking.
They didn't want to bring back and make a new Marmaduke?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, no.
Well, they did the Clifford.
He hasn't emailed us. Damn it, Andrew.
Get on it, Andrew. Come on.
We hope by next time you have.
Yeah, we're waiting on that email from Andrew Garfield.
Anyway, until next time, stay safe, everybody. We appreciate you taking the time out to listen to us. Have a good one.
Hey, Spot Pete. Got a gun!
Pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.